Hey everyone, this is Frugal Panda here with a video of my visit to Tacoma, Washington in October of 2022. The day I went down here, actually I was down here a couple of days. I would because Tacoma's so close to Seattle that I was like, like say I wanted to go to Ross or TJ Maxx. A lot of times I would just go down here because it was real quick. It's easy to get to, things like that. It's really pretty painless. Tacoma, Washington is a cool little city, not too big, not too large. It's a military town, by the way. I couldn't figure out at first. There was something about it that seemed familiar, and you remind me of Colorado Springs in a way, and other military towns. And I said, oh, yeah, because Fort Lewis is here. Duh. So it always gave me a little bit of vibe about that. Now, going down here and spending some more time in actual Tacoma itself, I realized I can mark Tacoma off my list of places I want to move to. And it's not for a lot of the reasons people would think, well, why wouldn't you move here? It's affordable, it's cheap, it's a city that they're pumping money into. They're doing a lot of improvements. They got their whatever they call it, the light rail system going through it, connecting it, finishing up to connect it with actually Seattle and all that stuff. So public transportation, the downtown is cute, it's cool. But going down here, I realized I like visiting Tacoma. I like going down here, but I just don't feel like it just doesn't give me that thing. It doesn't make me feel like, hey, this is where I want to live. And that's just being honest. It doesn't. It's a military town in a way, and that's not a knock on the military. I'm a veteran myself. I lived in military towns and things like that. And honestly, I just don't like living in them. I never have. I don't know what it was. It's just something I never did. And even when I lived in military towns, wherever I was at, I usually didn't hang out in them too much. I would take off to the nearest city or a different location where I just felt, I don't know, I felt more like an individual in a way, in that, I didn't have to navigate all the pawn shops and, the payday loans and all the different stuff, and just the drama that went on around living in an army. I'm be honest with you, an army community. A lot of times I wanted to go away and just be myself, and things like that. And I got that vibe like I was still in the military in a way, and that's not what I want at this point in my life. I just want to be in a regular old city. That's just the truth of it. So all I'm saying in regards to that is I just don't want to live in an actual military town. I spent a lot of my young life in actual military towns where they had bases and all that stuff. And it's just a different vibe. I don't know. It's kind of weird to explain. It's just more, I don't know, a little more uniformity. You run into people all the time. And I'm not saying I know anybody up here. I'm just saying you always feel some people really enjoy having the military in town. Other people are like, oh God, here they come. All that. Stuff like that. And what I really enjoyed about not living in a military town, and when I would go to towns and visit them that were around the military town, how much I felt better in regards to how people treated me in a way. There was no yay or nay, they hated us or they didn't hate us. Most people were like, oh, you're in the military, great. And they were nice and respectful and very, and no one's ever disrespectful. We were not those type of guys you'd want to be disrespectful to. But, they were like, wow, you're in the military. It was actually assignment versus in those towns where so much of the economy depends on it. It's just, oh yeah, you're in the military, great. All right, you need a payday loan, whatever, things like that. So it's just what it is. It's not a big deal. Regardless of that, I'm going to be coming to visit Tacoma if we do move out here regardless. And when I do come out in this area, I usually come and visit it anyway. It's simple to navigate. It's easy to get around. The downtown is cute. There's good places to eat all over Tacoma. I have a great time when I'm here. Now, the homeless population in the area. Downtown, I want to say I saw less homeless people in downtown Tacoma than when I was here in August of 2021. And that's no joke. Now, that's not to say I didn't miss a street where there's a whole row of homeless people sitting. But I can say for a fact when I went to the Ross store, wherever the Ross store is located, over by there was like a street with rows of van lifers. And I'll throw them in there too, in RVs, because those people, they're living in a van. Well, you're a van lifer, that were all lined up and, hanging out and everything like that. And it was more of an industrial area near wherever their Ross Dress for Less stores are. Now, with that being said, though, if you're going downtown, young, older, whatever, you'll feel pretty safe. It was nice downtown. I want to say that their nonprofits are a little stronger, and their law enforcement in regards to and code enforcement in pushing the homeless people towards certain areas and not allow them to inundate the downtown, such as is Portland right now, especially the Pearl District. The Pearl District is really bad right now in regards to the homeless population, and that comes down to your local leaders and them being inept in regards to dealing with the problem. Um, it's not just people flock to Portland that are homeless. No, no, no. It's what they've done in regards to making it a plus, a very positive thing to be homeless in Portland, Oregon. And when I say Portland, Oregon, that I'm talking about Portland proper. That doesn't count Beaverton, Oswego and Hillsborough and all the surrounding areas. We're talking about the actual city. It's the same as when you were talking about Seattle to Tacoma. It's the same as when I talk about Denver to where I live in Aurora. When people ask where I'm from, I just say Denver, because telling them I'm from Aurora, they just get more confused. It's easier just to say Denver. But Aurora is very similar in regards to size to Tacoma. A little bit bigger than Tacoma, I believe. Now, what I'd say Tacoma is definitely good for in regards to people, single people. You'll love it out here. New families, you'll definitely love it because the real estate's a lot cheaper than, say, Seattle proper, but you're still close enough to enjoy the sights and sounds of Seattle and other places located around Tacoma. Now, like I said, it's cheap. I went to Hilltop area. Hilltop's really cool. They're putting money into it. I would not personally. I'm be honest with you. I would not live there as where I'm at in my life. If I needed a starter home or something like that, I want to do an investment. Hilltop's a great area because putting that light rail system in is going to make that real estate jump. But also, I did see a lot more homeless people, and it looks like they pushed the homeless a little bit more over towards the poor neighborhoods. And I've seen that in a lot of cities where the homeless people magically end up in the poor neighborhoods. Well, it's easier to do in those neighborhoods. The home ownership in a lot of poor areas is going to be less than half, and most people are going to be renters, and Section 8 and stuff like that. So their skin in the game in regards to property is not going to be as high as, say, some of your higher income areas. And that's just the truth of it. So they'll push them up towards there, or they'll feel comfortable and they'll put one tent up. And for you know it, you got 10 tents in front of your house and people using the bathroom in your front yard. Now, like I said, I saw a lot more of them. It was not as bad as I've seen in certain neighborhoods in other cities. So it wasn't as bad, but I definitely saw them in this Hilltop area. And that's one thing to keep in mind was that. All right, so let's talk diversity. I bring up diversity, and sometimes I hate talking about it, but I got to be honest with you. I got to bring it up because I know there's a lot of people, and with YouTube, there's a lot of bad information given out. People give out different types of information, and a lot of it's just bad. Like they'll tell you, like I've seen people move from, I'm not going to say any names on here. Like I met one person moved from Atlanta, and they moved to Washington, and they were like, we haven't seen a black person for 3 weeks. I think that's when we saw our first black person. And I'm like, I've been out to these places and I'm listening. I'm like, you're a darn lie. How could you be that stupid? And they pass the information on, and someone back in wherever location they're located in the Midwest or down south or wherever that has very limited knowledge of traveling is thinking, well, let me take that city off my list of places to go visit. That tells me enough that it's not very diverse. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. Tacoma's not one of those cities, and if anybody says that in their videos, if they didn't see anybody, of color, I mean, someone who's of an Asian or Hispanic or African American background or a variety of other ethnicities, then they're telling a story and they're lying. Or there's someone who's like a dang troll and stays in their cave all day, and that's why they didn't see anybody. Because you cannot walk nowhere in Tacoma and not see different people, different flavors of people. You can see it in their food. You can see it in people, how they interact. You can see it within, the different couples you see walking around. This is like a city. It's a city, and it's very diverse. There is no feeling uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable in Tacoma, it's more than likely going to be not because of your ethnicity or your background. It's going to be more from a human standpoint, or maybe you're in an area or a certain part of a city or a town, or and you feel uncomfortable because of possibility of crime or it's just really nasty looking, and things like that. That may be your comfort level. But as far as going in anywhere and feeling uncomfortable in Tacoma, that should not be any issue. I've been around the city multiple times for the last couple of years, and no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not that city, and I've yet to go to any cities that are like that right now. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. So if you visit Tacoma, don't worry about diversity and stuff like that. That's a given in this area. It's not a big deal. Everyone's represented in like cities such as this. If you're subscribed to anybody that lives in Tacoma that talks about issues such as that, and they're not seeing people like them, yada yada yada. Especially if you're a person of an African American background, go ahead and unsubscribe from them, because they're an idiot and they have other issues that they need to deal with that has nothing to do with the city. Because I couldn't walk in anywhere, and I'm not actively hunting out people. Oh, I got to find people that look like me type of stuff. No, no. I'm out here for experience and to have fun. And I could not run into people that may have similar backgrounds to me, especially people that are biracial and multiracial. So many of them out here. So that's another thing. If you're interested in moving out here and say you come from a background that's very diverse in regards to that, you will see plenty of people that look like you out here, as well as other people. I enjoy going to places where there's all kinds of people. I love interacting with all kinds of people. Also, the food is better when you have all different types of folks in an area. Don't worry about it. Don't trip on diversity. Diversity is a given in this area, whether it's Tacoma or it's Seattle. So I don't know. Some people just have. Sometimes you can have a really bad attitude about things, well, I remember this happened to me in 1995, or I heard this, and that's the first thing. If someone told you they heard something, go ahead and X their opinion off of what you believe in, or even taking it to, because they're telling you what they heard. They didn't even experience anything. So go ahead and disregard anything they tell you after that. Tacoma is a city for all types of people, and I would recommend this city to all types of people, especially families starting out. I think this is a really great city for people starting out, or someone looking for an investment. It's like I said, the town is easy to get around. The only thing I would be mindful of, like I said, is in the neighborhoods. Investigate the schools you're just thinking on sending your kids to, because always remember, no schools are alike and no schools are equal. So go on greatschools.com, I think it is, or greatschools.net. Look at the rankings, look at different things. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, look at things like free lunch. If free lunch in a school is 80%, usually that school is not a very good school. They have a lot of other problems. I'm just going to be honest with you. When I mean free lunch is 80% of the population of students, that means it's a really poor school. Let's be honest. And I've raised 4 kids. I still got one in the household. And it never failed us. That's one of the things we take into account, and it kept our kids in school and made sure they were with other kids and parents that were like-minded in regards to their kids getting an education and going to college. Depends on what you want to do. I don't know. I'm not here to fight against the grain, all that stuff. I just want to I wanted to make sure my kids got through school. They didn't have gangs and all that stuff they had to, deal with, such as I did growing up. And it really impacts, your education and you wanting to go to school, and also negatively influences your outlook on life and how much you can do in life. Now, walking around downtown, though, like I said, super cool area. I walked a lot because, oh my God, I ate so much food. While I was here, there'll be some pictures in here. I went to a place. It wasn't in downtown. It's not that far outside of the actual downtown. It may be considered downtown. Pacific Southern. I want to say it's called Pacific Southern, and it was, I think, a little spin of probably someone who moved here from the South, somewhere in the South. Fried chicken. So they had fried chicken and all types of stuff, and it was cheap. I want to say I got the 4-piece combo, because I didn't see anything smaller than a 4-piece. I really didn't want the 4-piece. And I think I paid maybe $22 with the tip, no joke. So I get the food, and it's like these huge pieces of fried chicken, greens, baked beans. And then she's like, oh, I forgot your, and that included a soda I got with it. And she's like, oh, I forgot your biscuit. And she comes back with this biscuit. Dude, this biscuit was almost the size of a pancake. I swear to God, this biscuit was huge. And like they put sugar, it felt like they put sugar in the butter. So, but I would tell y'all, if you go there, that's one of the reasons I've walked all around. I got a lot of walks in. I rode my bike even. when I was in West Seattle. I want to say this day too, because some places you got to be careful. I was like, holy crap, dude. I feel like I need insulin. I'm not diabetic, but it was that type of place. And this is Pacific Southern here, but the prices were super fair for what I got. And like I said, it was only like 22, maybe 23 bucks when I was there. I was like, holy crap. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy your time. Go out, explore, have fun. Get out there and do it.